another interview. They're not crazy. I am. Yeah, I sit here all by myself, home alone, and instead of sticking my fingers in my orifices, because they don't seem to want that, I started a podcast. What else are you going to do when you're 69 and you can't 69? I'm going to do something, right? So I'm interviewing comedians, and I have a buddy from Portland, Oregon, JT Davis. There he is. He does
Hello.
he does comedy. He does voiceover acting. He's a father. He's a husband. He's a family man. He's a great guy. I got to co-host one time with him, and I fell in love with him. And it's like, oh, he's married, but he's too young. Anyway, we had fun tearing up that Harvey's Comedy Club that night, though, and we worked well together.
Yes, we did. We make a good duo.
We do. You don't really get do-overs on duos, so we did a good one the first time. That was for sure.
Wordplay.
How is my city, Portland? Is it burning in the ashes? Is it like Tara of the South? Has it slowed down? Has everybody taken sides and left each other alone? What's going on?
You know, the feeling that I get is that most people have started to just back away from all the hubbub downtown, and it seems like just my opinion, it seems like the only people that are left to protest are the ones that are wanting to fight with cops. And the only people who want to fight with the protesters are, I hear, people who are hired from Honduras or Nicaragua. I don't know, just spitballing.
Yeah.
So a lot of people have really detached from it and are just face palming and shaking their heads at what's been going on and detracting from what really matters. A lot.
There's a lot of reverber. I'm hearing an echo when I talk, so I don't know if your volume can come down just a hair.
Sure. If you'd like, I could try a headset too.
Okay, let me see if the volume. I think that took care of it.
My Bonnie lies over the ocean. Is that good?
Yeah. That
All right.
sounds great. So I saw that the deer statue caught fire.
Oh my gosh.
They burnt it in Portland. You know where the buses come up, and right there's a deer statue. The buses come from the east side to downtown, and there's that deer statue.
Right. Welcome to Portland.
Set it on. Yeah, they said, oh, not the old white stag. Welcome to Portland, but
okay, who cares?
The deer statue down like on down by the park blocks where all the homeless hang out.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and I was like, wow. I guess the buck does stop in Portland.
Very nice.
Nice.
That's horrible to hear. I didn't authorize that. I don't know where that came from.
Oh, no. So, So is Portland going to make a comeback soon?
That's my hope. I hope that we return to abnormality as soon as we can.
Yes. Yeah, that's a good one. You got me there. I almost missed it, but then I was like, you're not that old. So you sent me a list of things that you would like to talk about, and I want to make sure I don't miss any of them. So I'm going to go in order because you came on here before, and I did an interview of you. So this is like a fun time where we get to just banter and talk things you want to talk about. So,
I like that. Thank you.
Yes. Oh, I'm so delighted because I absolutely adore you. Like if we have time, you want to talk about your starting your voice acting career. So tell me about that.
Oh, this is something that's super exciting for me. It's the next stage in my journey as an entertainer. First, in our previous interview, we talked about how for the last 25, 30 years or so, I've been a DJ. Started off on the radio. That helped me to branch out into being a club DJ and then a mobile DJ, and that's something that I enjoyed for a long time. And then when I moved here to Oregon from Florida, it completely changed. I decided I wanted to enter the workforce and get a job and get a stable career and be, a responsible family man, that kind of thing. But I couldn't stay away from it. I had to do something. That's when I got into comedy. And then my next progression from comedy is now voice acting. I've completed a program with, I'm not sure if I could say their name. I'm not sure if it's proprietary or anything like that, but there's a very prominent company who helps voice actors get trained, get started so that they know what to do and how to do it. And they also help them with that all-important demo that you send out to the producers to say, hey, here's what I can do for you. So we just completed that phase. I've gone through all the training to learn how to be a voice actor, what to do and when to do it and how to do it. I've completed the demo session by going into a studio downtown. That was a lot of fun. That was great fun for me. One thing that I thought was really interesting about it was so they had me put together a 10 spot demo. 6 of them are like radio commercials, and then 4 of them are more narrative, like for audiobooks, that kind of thing, or instructionals. And on one of them, we had a little bit of time to play with it, and it was a commercial for M&Ms. Basically asking, how do we get the new fudge brownie taste into our new M&Ms? Wouldn't you like to know? So we had some time to play with that for just a little bit, and the producer said, hey, why don't you try it a different way that hasn't occurred to you yet, just something completely off the wall. And I went with sultry, seductive, sexy. They liked it, and we kept it. So now I'm asking you, if, how do we get our M&Ms to taste so good? Wouldn't you like to know? It's like, ooh, it gives me chills. I'll be right back.
Oh my gosh. Is there any way you can put on headphones real
You got it.
quickly? It is
Who got it?
not going away. Thank you.
Sorry about the audio issues.
Oh, thank you so much for working with me. I'll give you a hint on the next thing I'm going to ask you. I want to hear about your daughter's Father's Day gift to you.
Oh, yeah. Thanks for asking about that. I'm so proud of my little girl.
How old is she?
She's now 11. She just turned 11 a week or two ago. Well, yeah, a week ago. And on Father's Day this year. Is that any better?
Yes.
Awesome. So Father's Day of this year, one way that she surprised me was in giving me a Father's Day gift of a joke that she made up.
Oh.
This is my cute little girl. I'm so proud of her. So her joke, I think, is a great mix of punnery and philosophy. She says, how do you know when a bad joke should be called a dad joke? When it becomes apparent. Oh, does my heart so good.
That is so good. Oh my goodness, that's advanced for an 11-year-old. She shows
That's my
promise.
girl. It's not a groaner. Well, maybe slightly a groaner, but
That is good.
When she was graduating from the 2nd grade, I guess you could say, when she was moving from the 2nd grade to 3rd grade, at the end of the year, they put on a talent show. And when I asked her what she wanted to do, she says, Dad, I want to tell jokes. I want to be a comic. Will you write me a story joke? I'm like, oh, that's so awesome. Thank you. I was so honored. So what I did was I took a story joke that it was probably one of the first ones that I ever made up for a stand-up act. One that she particularly likes. I took that and reworked it so it's more kid-friendly for a 2nd grade class. And she, of course, didn't memorize it. She read it verbatim from the page. And it was all about teaching a bully how to be nicer and getting one over on a bully and funny in the end and that kind of thing. When she was done, the kids laughed where she wanted them to laugh. She felt so good when she was done. One little girl said, "That was the funniest thing I'd ever heard in my whole entire life." She's a 2nd grader, so adorable.
She's on her road to stardom.
She
is. Do it.
She is. I asked her what she wants to do with her life. When she was little, she used to say she wants to be a dancer, a singer, a teacher, and a paleontologist. These days, she wants to be a blogger. That's her aspiration.
Well, she's got it narrowed down and they can do it from home.
There you go. Times are changing, aren't they?
They are. Oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm.
It says here you sent me, my wife and I had the same last name before we were married. And I want to hear that story.
That's a funny joke that we love to play on people, especially when we first meet. Because my wife loves to throw it out as soon as possible. She says, we knew it was meant to be because my husband and I had the same last name before we were married. And then I usually jump in and say, Hugenschlaffer, or Hitler, or Bieber, Timberlake, or something like that. And they're like, oh my gosh, really? No, it's Davis. It's so common. Everybody's Davis. Or I like to joke and say that I changed my name to hers, just to be a gentleman. Or we hyphenated it, Davis. Our son's name is Davis too, so poor guy.
His first name's Davis.
I'm joking.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, we have a whole lot of
Instead
fun
of
with that.
Davis the third, it's just Davis, Davis, Davis.
Yes.
Oh
Another
my
thing
God.
that we like to do when we joke around is, especially if we get people in a good laughing mood after that starter joke, then I'll tell them something like how my wife and I are just alike. We're the mirror's image of each other. We used to joke and say that I'm her with tits and she's me. No, I'm sorry. No, the other way around. Whew. She's me with tits and I'm her with a cock.
I have a twin brother, JT, and he has a joke. He's
Yeah.
actually smarter than me and funnier, but he doesn't want to do comedy for whatever reason.
Yeah. Go figure.
And so he said to me, I think this is hilarious. He says that I am him in drag.
Oh, that's good.
Isn't that
Nice.
good?
Nice.
No, you're the afterbirth, Fred. That's where I can get mean because, we're sick of each other. Can
That's
we talk?
hilarious. That's hilarious. So you guys have known each other for a little bit then.
We've been roommates and woommates and everything. It's been hell. I went to counseling for it. Now I'm all better.
And you gained material.
Yeah, there you go. Winning.
That's what
Yeah,
Emilio Estevez said when he found out that Charlie Sheen was diagnosed.
with
No, sorry. When
oh.
Charlie Sheen found out, when Charlie Sheen was diagnosed, Emilio Estevez found out and said, "Winning!" Bad, bad, bad.
Tell me your story. You say you have an interesting story about your new dog. I love dog
Ooh.
stories.
Oh yeah, that's cool. Thank you.
Yeah, you bet.
So my family has had a golden retriever for the last 15 years. She
Aw.
just passed away in March, right before the COVID stuff started. And during COVID, a lot of people were stuck at home, so they were reaching out trying to find pets. So as far as finding pets online, it was kind of difficult to do. The pickings were slim. I think the prices probably went up, judging by how high they were. And of course, you couldn't just go down to your local pet store and take a look at pets. Everybody's closed. So we were using one of the major online pet finders, quote unquote, and uh, we were looking at a few specific kinds of dogs, and one of them popped up that wasn't really in our list of dogs to kind of search for at all. And she was I didn't recall the type, but I remembered that she had brown and white splotches like a horse or a cow would, and strikingly beautiful blue eyes, and the name Sierra. And we were like, oh, this is an interesting dog. And she's only like 5 months. We're looking for a puppy because we'd like to start off fresh again. And so let's look into trying to do an interview and possibly adopt her. Turns out they said, yeah, sorry, we just adopted her out to a guy that we've been adopting to before, so we trust him. If anything happens, we'll let you know. A couple months went by, maybe like 3 or 4 months, I don't know. And a friend of ours from Washington, guy was my best friend since I was a little kid. He and his wife came down because they're planning on helping with some home repairs, some home improvements, and they brought their two dogs. One of them was this cute little dog named Sierra with white splotches and brown splotches and beautiful striking blue eyes. Turns out that the first home that she went to, sadly, she was abused, terribly abused, thrown in a kennel, sprayed with a hose, and malnourished and kicked and all sorts of terrible stuff. So they recognized the issue there. They took her out of that first home, put her into a second home, abused there again. Not quite as bad, but still abuse nonetheless. My friend's wife, so also my friend, this was her daughter, where the dog was at that time. And she said, well, we need to get the dog out of that home. She's being abused. We'll take her to my house. Her father wasn't getting along as well with the dog as they would have liked. I wouldn't say abusing her, but it wasn't a good fit. So they realized we need to do something to get this dog a new home. So they brought her with them to come and visit us just to get her out of the house. She came to us immediately. This poor rescue dog who's been mistreated by so many people in almost every home in her 9 months came immediately to myself. She's really skittish around men. She came immediately to me. She came immediately to my wife, who was really grieving about dogs, and my daughter, who was still grieving as well. And they realized maybe we should offer this dog to the Davises. And this was the exact same dog that we fell in love with and wanted online 3, 4 months before.
This is the dog, the
The
same
same
dog.
dog, the same dog. And this is a nationwide service. She could have gone anywhere in the country. And just after a few homes of such unfortunate and horrible abuse, she ended up back with us.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh,
So it was
that's
really meant
so.
to be, it feels like.
Oh, that's a great story. So much better than the dogs stories that I have adopting dogs that need to be put down from shelters. You know,
Oh, man.
you go to the no kill places, you can get a dog that's got stage 4 cancer.
Yeah. And they just need love. They just need somebody to take care of them when most people wouldn't. That's very
Yes.
admirable that you do that.
Thank you. I didn't know, but thank you anyway.
Hmm.
I got tricked.
Gotcha. That's
I'm not
horrible.
for kill shelters, but if I do adopt another dog, I will go to a kill shelter first because I
Smart.
got. It's terrible to think that way, and it's not funny, but I'm giggling.
No, yeah, it's good to laugh at the sad things in life.
Yeah, yeah. So, Comic Spot, I love it. I know you've loved it. Let's keep it going. I need your help. I developed it so you out there can get to know comics, whether they're brand new or 45 years in the biz. We're going to get to know them so you'll know who to love. So, all I need you to do is donate to my Cash App, and that is Linda Marcus Smith. I would really appreciate it. Thank you. So, let's see what else you have here. And maybe about I came to host the first time. You have a story about hosting your very first time. I want to hear
Uh,
this.
uh, so since we're all friends in the Portland comic community, I'm going to have to refrain from saying the location. I
Okay.
can't say the venue. And so then I also can't say the name of the person that this involves because I don't want to besmirch their name. Don't want to say anything bad about them.
Okay.
But I'm going to say something bad about them. No, kidding.
I give out
So
names. Just kidding.
So most of us are phases where we're loyal, I guess you could say, or we frequent certain comedy clubs over the others, and maybe it gets old after a time, and then we choose another one. There was one that I was with for a good year, I think, where I spent. If there was ever any time that I had to spend with comedy, it was at this place. And keep in mind, I don't know if I've mentioned any time before or not, but as a comic and as a family man who has a full-time job and who is looking at becoming a voice actor, I was allowed, according to my agreement with my wife, one night every other week to go out and do
Yes,
comedy.
I remember this.
Oh my gosh. So anyway, at this one club, there was a host who offered his expertise. He says, "Hey, if there's anybody out in the crowd here on open mic night," okay, yeah, still not giving too much away. If there's anybody out in the crowd who would like some tips, you want some tips on being a better comic. If you want to, kick me some jokes and maybe ask to pick my brain or whatever, come on down. And about an hour before the show, I'll meet with you. I'll charge you $10, just $10, so I can make a little scratch and I'll help you out. And I thought that was a great idea, so I took him up on it. Dude didn't show. He didn't show. No call, no show, no response, no nothing. Um, and so, like I said, he was the host. So they were out a host that night, and about 10 minutes before showtime was when they came to me and said, "Hey, you are here often. You like the place, so you're. I guess you're next in line. Would you like to host?" Like, hell yeah, that'd be awesome.
How did it go?
It was terrific. I met so many fun people that night, and it was fun taking on or putting on a different hat as far as the comedy shows that we do. It was fun, not just sitting there and thinking, okay, I'm going on soon. Are they gonna laugh? Am I gonna get it right? That kind of thing. The jitters that we give ourselves. I didn't have time for any of that because instead I was thinking, okay, who's up there now? What are they doing now? Who's coming up next? Let's make sure they know. And oh, they're ready. Okay, here we go. So it was a good distraction from things that would otherwise distract me. It was a better distraction than the distractions I usually get.
I love hosting. Oh my gosh.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
I want
And
to learn everything there is about hosting. I wouldn't care if I never feature or headline. Really, I wouldn't care.
I feel the same way. And I even I don't know if admire is the right word, but I hold in a good high regard of respect those hosts that are out there on TV and radio. Somebody might look at them and think, "What do you do? You just talk." But it's hosting, and some people can't
talk on a phone. They're so jittery about talking. So I think it's definitely something that deserves respect.
Yes, I think that it's an honor to take a group of strangers and be able to magically make them be cohesive and on board with all kinds of different talent that could come out at them.
I agree.
It's an
I agree.
honor.
Good
So
thinking.
it's been wonderful talking and catching up with you. And I better run to my next in 6 minutes. I got another one. That's number 4 of the day. I don't
So
know.
busy.
I want to be in the Guinness for something all by myself.
You're gonna do it. You're gonna do it. That and for being the best Sally Jesse Raphael lookalike.
That's right. Sally Jesse Raphael meets Cat Lady.
Nice.
Somebody says that somebody told me that I look like the Long Island medium and Marge Simpson.
Marge Simpson. Oh, because the glass. Wait, did she wear glasses?
I don't know. I can't remember.
Oh well, whatever. That's funny anyway.
It's so funny, those kind of things. So lovely talking to you. Have a fabulous day and come back on and keep me posted on your new career doing voiceover acting. I want updates from you. You're a delight to have on.
Thanks, Linda. Always a pleasure. Thanks for having me.
And if you're watching and you're a booker, club owner, agent, book this guy. You know, people like Dante Reschelelli, this guy's marketable. Get him out there. Get him on shows. You'd entertain the troops, wouldn't you?
Absolutely. I was a troop.
You're a veteran too.
Absolutely. We
I
talked about it.
totally
It's been a while.
I
Huh?
forgot.
No worries.
So,
Yeah, oh yeah, I
thank-
drank hard for my country.
Thank you so much for your service to our country.
My pleasure.
Remind me what branch you were in.
The Air Force.
Oh, that's so much better than the Army.
We had a lot of fun. Oh my gosh, I have some stories for you.
Okay. Hey, next time, write
betcha.
that down and put other things, and we'll have you back on next month.
Will do. Great to
Okay.
talk with you, Linda.
Likewise.
Best to you and your
JT.
viewers.
Thank you so much for coming back to support. Love you.
My pleasure.
lots.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Everybody's talking at the comic spot. The comic spot.